Rain fell heavily over the quiet mountain road. Anna Lynn lay on the cold ground, her breathing weak and uneven. Blood slowly spread beneath her, mixing with the rainwater. Her vision blurred as the world grew darker. In front of her stood a familiar figure holding a black umbrella. Lily Lynn. Perfect hair. Perfect dress. Perfect smile. The beloved daughter of the Lynn family. Anna tried to speak, but her voice barely came out. Why? Lily tilted her head slightly, her eyes full of pity that did not reach her smile. You still don't understand? Lily said softly. Because you shouldn't have come back. Thunder rumbled in the distance. Anna's chest tightened as memories flooded her mind. 3 years ago, Anna had been found through a DNA test. The powerful Lynn family, one of the wealthiest families in Harbor City, had been searching for their missing daughter for decades. Anna had grown up in a small town, living a quiet and difficult life with an elderly woman who had raised her. When the truth was revealed, she was suddenly brought into a world of luxury and attention. A huge mansion. Luxury cars. Elegant dinners. Expensive clothes she had never imagined wearing. At first, Anna believed she had finally found a home. But she had forgotten something important. The Lynn family already had a daughter. Lily Lynn. Lily had been adopted when the real daughter was lost. She grew up surrounded by love and protection. Everyone adored her. Grace Lynn, the gentle mother, treated Lily like her precious treasure. Richard Lynn, the strict father, was proud of Lily's intelligence and elegance. Daniel Lynn, the older brother, was extremely protective of her. When Anna arrived, Lily welcomed her warmly. Sister, I've waited so long to meet you, Lily said the first day, hugging her tightly. Anna had been deeply moved. She believed Lily truly wanted to be family. But slowly, strange things began happening. A diamond necklace disappeared during a family banquet. It was found in Anna's room. Company documents were leaked to competitors. The evidence pointed to Anna's computer. Rumors spread that Anna was greedy and ungrateful. Every time Anna tried to explain, Lily would stand beside her with tearful eyes. Anna must have misunderstood something, Lily would say softly. She wouldn't do this on purpose. Those words sounded kind. But somehow they made Anna look even worse. Each incident slowly destroyed the fragile trust between Anna and the Lynn family. Richard Lynn's disappointment grew colder. Grace Lynn avoided looking at her. Daniel stopped speaking to her completely. One night Anna tried desperately to explain the truth. I didn't do those things, she said, her hands shaking. But Richard Lynn slammed the table angrily. Enough. His voice echoed through the dining room. You've embarrassed this family enough already. Anna's heart felt like it was breaking. I'm telling the truth. Stop lying. Daniel interrupted sharply. Anna looked at him in shock. He had always been fair and calm. But now his eyes were filled with anger. Lily has defended you again and again, Daniel continued. Yet you keep causing trouble. Anna turned toward Lily. Lily stood quietly beside Grace, looking worried. But when their eyes met for just a moment, Anna saw it. A tiny smile. Cold. Victorious. That was the moment Anna realized the truth. But it was already too late. Soon after, Richard Lynn announced that Anna would be sent away for reflection. Her reputation was ruined. No one believed her anymore. Except herself. The rain fell harder. Anna coughed weakly, pulling herself back to the present. Her body was too cold. Too tired. She knew she wouldn't survive. Lily slowly stepped closer, the umbrella shielding her from the rain. You should have stayed in that small town, Lily said quietly. Then none of this would have happened. Anna looked up at her. Did you plan everything? Lily's smile widened slightly. You were never supposed to exist in my life. Her voice was calm, almost gentle. But you came back and tried to take my family, my home, my future. She leaned down slightly. So I simply returned you to where you belong. Anna's vision blurred further. The rain felt colder now. But inside her heart, a burning regret slowly grew. If only she had seen the truth earlier. If only she had protected herself. If only she had never trusted Lily. Lily straightened up and turned to leave. Her heels clicked lightly on the wet road. Goodbye, Anna. Darkness slowly closed in. Anna's last thought was simple. If she could start again, she would never walk into the Lynn family mansion. Never trust those people again. Never let Lily win. Suddenly, Anna gasped sharply. Her body jolted upright. Bright sunlight streamed through a window. The sound of cars and people filled the air outside. Anna stared at her surroundings in shock. A small apartment room. A simple wooden desk. Her old phone lying beside the bed. Her hands trembled as she grabbed the phone and checked the date. Her eyes widened. 3 months earlier. 3 months before the Lynn family would find her. Before everything began. Anna slowly stood up and walked toward the mirror. The girl in the reflection looked younger. Alive. Not the broken woman lying on a rainy road. Anna touched her face, her heart beating fast. I came back. For a long moment she simply stared at herself. Then slowly, her expression changed. The fear disappeared. The sadness faded. What remained was calm. In her previous life, she rushed toward the Lynn family the moment she learned the truth. She believed blood meant love. She believed family meant protection. But now she understood. Some homes were just beautiful cages. Anna picked up her phone and quietly deleted the message she had prepared to send to the Lynn family investigator. In 3 months, they would come looking for her. But this time, she would not be waiting. Anna looked out the window at the busy city below. A faint smile appeared on her lips. Lily, she whispered softly. In this life, I won't fight you. She paused. Her eyes grew colder. I'll just watch. And this time, she would watch Lily destroy herself. Morning sunlight poured through the small apartment window. Anna Lynn stood quietly by the sink, watching the water run over her hands. The sound was soft and steady, calming her racing thoughts. Last night still felt like a dream. But the date on her phone had not changed. She truly had returned 3 months before everything began. 3 months before the Lynn family would discover her identity. 3 months before Lily started framing her. 3 months before her life was destroyed. Anna dried her hands slowly and looked around the apartment. It was small and simple. The furniture was old, and the walls were slightly faded. But compared to the cold luxury of the Lynn mansion, this place felt strangely peaceful. In her previous life, the moment she learned the truth about her birth, she had been filled with excitement and hope. She rushed to meet the Lynn family. She believed they would love her. She believed they had been searching for her all those years. But reality had been different. Anna leaned against the counter and took a deep breath. This time, I won't go back. The decision felt firm and clear in her heart. She walked to the table and opened her laptop. In her previous life, after entering the Lynn family, she had been forced to attend endless social events and etiquette classes. Her own interests and dreams had slowly disappeared. But before that happened, she had loved one thing very much. Design. Fashion design, jewelry design, anything creative. Back then she never had the chance to truly pursue it. But now she had another life. And this time she would choose her own path. Anna opened a job website and began searching. After nearly an hour, one listing caught her attention. Blue Wave Design Studio, Assistant Designer. A small studio in Harbor City looking for young designers. Anna smiled slightly. In her previous life she had actually seen Blue Wave's designs at several business events. Their work had been elegant and creative. It wasn't a huge company, but it had talent. She quickly prepared her portfolio and sent the application. The moment she clicked send, a strange feeling filled her chest. Excitement. Freedom. For the first time in a long while, her future did not feel controlled by the Lynn family. Meanwhile, across the city, the Grand Lynn mansion stood proudly behind tall iron gates. Inside the luxurious dining room, the Lynn family was having breakfast. Grace Lynn gently poured tea for her daughter. Lily, you have a charity event this afternoon, right? She asked warmly. Lily smiled sweetly. Yes, Mom. The children's hospital fundraiser. Richard Lynn looked up from his newspaper. You represent the Lynn family there. Make sure everything goes well. Of course, Dad. Daniel Lynn sat beside them, scrolling through business reports on his tablet. The atmosphere was peaceful. Perfect. Lily looked around the table and felt a quiet satisfaction. This was her home, her family, her life. In the previous years, she had always been slightly afraid. Afraid that one day the real daughter of the Lynn family would appear. Afraid that everything she had would disappear overnight. But recently, the family's investigation had reached a dead end. No new leads. No clues. Perhaps the real daughter was already gone. Perhaps she would never appear. Lily lowered her head slightly, hiding the small smile forming on her lips. If that girl never came back, then everything here would belong to her forever. Back in Anna's apartment, her phone suddenly rang. Anna looked at the caller ID and froze for a moment. Jason Chen. Her childhood friend. In her previous life, Jason had been one of the few people who believed her innocence. But by the time he learned the truth, everything had already been too late. Anna answered the call. Hello. Jason's familiar voice came through the phone. Anna, I finally reached you. She smiled slightly. Jason had always been energetic and straightforward. Did something happen? She asked. I just came back to Harbor City yesterday, Jason said. You said before that you might move here for work. Did you arrive yet? Anna paused for a moment. In her previous life, she had been too busy adapting to the Lynn family to stay in contact with him. This time, things would be different. Yes, she said softly. I'm already here. Really? Jason sounded excited. Then we should meet. I know a great noodle place near the river. Anna laughed quietly. All right. That afternoon, they met at a small restaurant. Jason looked almost the same as she remembered. Casual jacket, messy hair, bright eyes full of energy. When he saw her, he waved immediately. Anna. For a moment, Anna felt something warm in her chest. In her previous life, she had been surrounded by luxury but felt completely alone. Now she was sitting in a simple noodle shop, but it felt far more real. Jason studied her face curiously. You look different, he said. Anna raised an eyebrow. Different how? Calmer, he replied. Before, you always looked worried about the future. Anna looked down at her bowl and smiled faintly. That's because I decided something important. What? She lifted her head and looked out the restaurant window at the busy street. This time, she said quietly, I'm going to live my own life. Jason blinked, slightly confused. But he smiled anyway. That sounds good to me. Just then, Anna's phone buzzed. A new email notification appeared. Blue Wave Design Studio. Her heart beat faster as she opened the message. The words were simple. Miss Anna Lynn, we reviewed your portfolio. We would like to invite you for an interview tomorrow. Anna stared at the screen for a few seconds. Then she smiled. Her new life had officially begun. But across the city, in the luxurious Lynn mansion, someone was unknowingly waiting for her. And when the truth eventually appeared, the calm life Lily believed she owned would begin to crack. The next morning, Anna Lynn arrived early at Blue Wave Design Studio. The office building was not very large, but the glass walls allowed sunlight to fill the entire workspace. Designers sat at long tables covered with sketches, fabrics, and jewelry samples. Anna looked around quietly. This place felt alive. Not like the silent, polished halls of the Lynn mansion. A young receptionist smiled and led her into a meeting room. A few minutes later, a woman in her early 30s walked in. She had short hair, sharp eyes, and carried a folder. Miss Anna Lynn, the woman asked. Anna stood politely. Yes. The woman nodded. I'm Emily Zhao, the director of Blue Wave. She sat down and opened Anna's portfolio. The room became quiet. Anna watched nervously as Emily flipped through the pages of sketches. There were clothing designs, jewelry concepts, and several creative ideas Anna had worked on in her free time. In her previous life, these drawings had slowly gathered dust. But now they were her opportunity. Emily suddenly stopped at one page. "This necklace design," she said. Anna leaned forward slightly. It was a delicate silver design shaped like flowing water. "The idea was inspired by river waves," Anna explained. "Simple but elegant." Emily studied it carefully. Then she looked up. "Your style is very natural," she said. "Not overly complicated." Anna waited nervously. Emily closed the folder. "When can you start working?" Anna blinked in surprise. "Does that mean you're hired?" Emily said calmly. For a moment Anna could not speak. Then she smiled brightly. "Thank you. I won't disappoint you." Emily nodded slightly. "We're a small team, but we value creativity. If you work hard, you'll have many chances here." Anna left the office feeling lighter than she had in years. Her life was finally moving forward. Meanwhile, across the city, Lily Lynn was attending the Children's Hospital charity event. The ballroom was filled with wealthy guests, reporters, and business leaders. Lily stood gracefully near the stage, wearing an elegant white dress. Cameras flashed as she smiled gently. "Miss Lynn, over here. Please look this way." Lily waved politely, maintaining the perfect image of the Lynn family's beloved daughter. Grace Lynn stood beside her proudly. "My daughter has always cared deeply about charity," she told the reporters. Lily lowered her head modestly. "I only hope to help people who need support." The crowd admired her kindness. But behind her calm expression, Lily's thoughts were restless. Recently she had been feeling strange anxiety. For years she had always feared the real daughter appearing. But lately that fear had returned. A strange feeling that something was changing. After the speeches ended, Lily walked to the balcony for some fresh air. The night wind brushed against her face. Below the hotel, the busy city lights stretched endlessly. Her phone suddenly vibrated. A message appeared from a private investigator the Lynn family had hired years ago. Lily's heart tightened slightly. She opened the message. "We discovered a possible lead related to the missing daughter." Her fingers froze. A second message appeared. "Still investigating. Information not confirmed yet." Lily's face slowly turned pale. Impossible. For years there had been no clues. Why now? Her breathing became slightly uneven. "No," she whispered. She quickly deleted the message. No one could know. No one could take her place. 2 weeks passed. Anna had fully started working at Blue Wave. Her talent quickly impressed her co-workers. One afternoon Emily gathered the team. "We received an invitation to design jewelry for the Harbor City Business Charity Gala," she announced. The room buzzed with excitement. That event was famous. Many powerful companies would attend. Emily continued, "This is a big opportunity for our studio." She turned toward Anna. "Anna, I want you to help design the main necklace piece." Anna was surprised. "Me? You have good ideas," Emily said simply. Anna nodded firmly. "I'll do my best." But she did not realize something important. The Harbor City Business Charity Gala was organized by the Lynn Group. A few days later, preparations for the gala were in full swing at the Lynn mansion. Daniel Lynn was reviewing event plans in his office. His assistant entered with several documents. "Sir, these are the design proposals for the gala jewelry." Daniel flipped through the pages. Most designs looked elegant but ordinary. Then one sketch caught his attention. A silver necklace shaped like flowing waves. Simple. Beautiful. Unique. Daniel studied it carefully. "Which studio submitted this?" he asked. "Blue Wave Design Studio." Daniel nodded slightly. "This one stands out. Approve it." The assistant wrote down the decision. Neither of them noticed the designer's name printed on the corner. Anna Lynn. Meanwhile, Lily walked through the mansion hallway when she overheard 2 maids whispering. "Did you hear? They may have found clues about the real daughter again." "Really? After all these years?" Lily's footsteps stopped. Her fingers slowly tightened. That strange feeling of unease returned. That night she could not sleep. Something inside her kept whispering. The girl who should have died quietly in the past. Was she coming back? A week later, the Grand Harbor City Charity Gala finally arrived. Elegant guests filled the enormous ballroom. Anna entered the venue with her co-workers from Blue Wave. She wore a simple black dress and stood quietly among the designers. She had no idea that this event would change everything. Across the ballroom, Lily stood beside her parents, greeting guests gracefully. But suddenly, her eyes froze. Across the room, she saw a familiar face. A face she believed should never appear again. Anna. Alive. Standing calmly under the golden lights. For a moment Lily felt her entire world collapse. Her hands began trembling. Her heart pounded violently. Only one thought echoed inside her mind. How is she still alive? And at that moment, the perfect life Lily had built for years began to crack. The music in the ballroom continued softly. Elegant conversations filled the air. But Lily Lynn could hear nothing except the sound of her own heartbeat. Across the room, under the bright chandelier lights, Anna Lynn stood calmly beside the Blue Wave design team. She looked different. More confident. More composed. Not the fragile girl Lily remembered pushing around in the Lynn mansion. Lily's fingers tightened around her champagne glass. Impossible. She had personally watched Anna die that night. There was no way she could be standing here. Lily. Grace Lynn's gentle voice pulled her back. You look pale. Are you feeling unwell? Lily forced a smile. I'm fine, Mom. But her eyes kept drifting back to Anna. Anna did not look at her. She simply stood quietly, speaking with her co-workers. As if Lily did not exist. That calmness frightened Lily even more. Meanwhile, Anna already noticed Lily the moment she entered the ballroom. The shock on Lily's face had been obvious. Anna slowly sipped her drink and remained calm. In her previous life, she would have felt nervous meeting the Lynn family again. But now her heart was steady. She was not here as the lost daughter of the Lynn family. She was simply Anna, a designer from Blue Wave. Nothing more. Her co-worker Mia nudged her slightly. Anna, that's the Lynn family over there, Mia whispered excitedly. Anna looked over briefly. Richard Lynn stood tall and serious. Grace Lynn wore her usual gentle expression. Daniel Lynn spoke with several business partners. The sight of them stirred complicated emotions inside her. In her previous life, she had longed for their approval. Now she simply observed them like strangers. Anna's gaze passed over Lily again. Lily was staring directly at her. Fear, shock, suspicion, all clearly visible. Anna lowered her eyes and smiled faintly. So you recognize me? Good. The real game had just begun. Across the room, Lily quickly excused herself and walked toward a quiet hallway. Her steps were fast and uneven. She grabbed her phone and dialed a number. The private investigator answered after a few seconds. Yes, Miss Lynn. Lily lowered her voice urgently. Investigate someone for me. Name? She hesitated for a moment. Anna Lynn. The investigator paused. That name sounds familiar. Just do it, Lily snapped. I want everything about her. Her job, her past, where she lives. Yes, Miss Lynn. Lily hung up the phone slowly. Her breathing was still unstable. If that woman truly was Anna, then everything could be destroyed. Her life. Her family. Her future. Lily looked into the mirror on the hallway wall. Her perfect smile returned slowly. No. She had spent years protecting her position. She would not lose everything now. Back in the ballroom, the host finally announced the highlight of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will reveal the special jewelry design created for this year's charity gala. Spotlights turned toward the stage. Emily from Blue Wave stepped forward proudly. Our main designer for this piece is someone very talented, she said. Miss Anna Lynn. The room applauded politely. Anna walked onto the stage calmly. At the Lynn family table, Daniel glanced toward the stage. For a brief moment, his expression changed. There was something strangely familiar about this girl. But he could not explain why. Anna stood beside the display table as the cloth covering the necklace was removed. The silver wave-shaped necklace sparkled beautifully under the lights. Guests murmured in admiration. It's elegant. Very creative. Daniel studied the design again. He remembered choosing this design earlier from the proposals. But seeing it now felt different. For some reason, he felt an odd sense of connection. On the stage, Anna spoke simply. I was inspired by the idea of flowing water, she said. Even when rivers face obstacles, they always find a new path forward. Her words were calm but meaningful. For a brief second, her eyes met Lily's across the ballroom. Anna's gaze was steady, almost knowing. Lily suddenly felt cold. After the presentation ended, guests began socializing again. Richard Lynn approached Emily politely. Your studio did excellent work, he said. Thank you, Mr. Lynn. Emily smiled and gestured toward Anna. Our designer deserves the credit. Richard turned toward Anna. Up close, he studied her carefully. Something about her eyes felt strangely familiar. Miss Anna, he said politely, your design is impressive. Anna nodded respectfully. Thank you, Mr. Lynn. Their conversation was short and professional. But when Anna walked away, Richard frowned slightly. A strange feeling lingered in his mind. Later that night, Lily returned to the mansion feeling restless. She sat alone in her bedroom. The investigator's message finally arrived. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Name, Anna Lynn. Age, 23. Occupation, designer at Blue Wave Studio. Background, raised in a small town by an elderly woman. Lily's face slowly turned pale. The details were almost identical. Her worst fear was becoming reality. But one detail caught her attention. 3 months ago, Anna had suddenly moved to Harbor City. Exactly the same time the Lynn family investigation had begun again. Lily's mind raced. Did she come here on purpose? Does she remember everything? A cold chill ran down her spine. If Anna revealed the truth, everything Lily had built would collapse. Her fingers slowly clenched the phone. A dark thought appeared in her mind. If Anna was truly the real daughter, then the only solution was simple. She had eliminated her once before. She could do it again. But this time, Anna would not see it coming. Or so Lily believed. The morning after the charity gala, Harbor City buzzed with news about the event. Photos of the elegant ballroom, famous guests, and the beautiful wave-shaped necklace spread across social media and business magazines. One photo in particular gained attention. Anna Lynn standing beside her design on the stage. At Blue Wave Studio, Mia excitedly showed the article on her phone. Anna, look. Your design is everywhere. Several co-workers gathered around. Wow, the comments are amazing. People really love it. Anna smiled quietly. In her previous life, her name had only appeared in negative news connected to the Lynn family. This time the recognition came from her own work. It felt different. Real. Emily walked over with a satisfied expression. You did well, she said. Several companies have already contacted us about future collaborations. That's great news, Anna replied. But while everyone celebrated, Anna noticed something outside the studio window. A black car parked across the street. Inside, someone appeared to be watching the building. Anna's eyes narrowed slightly. She already knew who it was. Lily has started moving. At the Lynn mansion, the atmosphere was tense. Richard Lynn sat in his office reviewing several reports. Daniel stood beside the desk holding a file. Father, Daniel said, the investigators finally confirmed the lead about our missing daughter. Richard looked up slowly. Is it reliable? Yes, Daniel replied. They found a woman whose background matches the hospital records from 23 years ago. Richard leaned back in his chair. For decades he had searched for his lost daughter. And now, she's in Harbor City, Daniel continued. Richard's eyes sharpened. Bring me the full report. Daniel placed the file on the desk. On the front page was a photo. Anna. Richard stared at the image for a long time. Something in his chest tightened. Those eyes. That calm expression. Why did she look so familiar? Meanwhile, Lily stood outside Anna's apartment building. Her sunglasses hid her anxious eyes. The investigator had already sent her Anna's address. Lily watched as Anna walked down the street carrying a sketch folder. She looked relaxed, completely unaware of Lily's presence. But what shocked Lily the most was Anna's attitude. She did not look afraid. She did not look angry. She looked peaceful. As if the Lin family meant nothing to her anymore. Lily's nails dug into her palm. Why is she so calm? Does she really remember everything? Her phone suddenly rang. It was Grace Lin. "Lily, where are you?" Grace asked gently. "Your father wants us to come home early today." "Did something happen?" Lily asked carefully. Grace hesitated. "The investigators may have found your sister." Lily felt her heart stop. Her sister. The word echoed painfully in her mind. She forced her voice to remain steady. "I'll come home right away." That evening, the Lin family gathered in the living room. The atmosphere felt heavier than usual. Richard placed the investigation file on the table. "We have finally located a possible match for our biological daughter." Grace clasped her hands nervously. Daniel opened the file again. Lily sat quietly beside her mother. Her face showed curiosity and slight nervousness. "Perfect acting." "Her name is Anna Lin," Daniel said. Grace's eyes widened slightly. "Anna." The coincidence of the name surprised her. Daniel continued reading. "She grew up in a small town and moved to Harbor City 3 months ago." Richard looked serious. "We will arrange a DNA test immediately." Grace nodded slowly. But Lily suddenly spoke. "Father, are you sure about this?" Everyone turned toward her. Lily lowered her head slightly. "I just don't want the family to be disappointed again if it's another false lead." Her voice sounded gentle and concerned. Grace squeezed her hand warmly. "Lily, no matter what happens, you will always be our daughter too." Lily forced a grateful smile. But inside she felt panic rising. If the DNA test happened, everything would be exposed. 2 days later, the Lin group prepared for another important business event. This time it was a private investor gathering at the Lin Company headquarters. Blue Wave Studio had been invited to display their jewelry collection again. When Emily told the team, Mia immediately became excited. Another big opportunity. Anna remained calm. She already knew what would happen next. In her previous life, this had been the moment everything collapsed for her. But now the situation was different. This time she had prepared. That evening the event hall was filled with investors and reporters. The Lin family stood at the entrance greeting guests. When Anna entered with the Blue Wave team, Lily immediately saw her. Their eyes met across the room. But this time Anna did not look away. She simply smiled. A quiet, confident smile. It made Lily's chest tighten with fear. Halfway through the event, Richard suddenly walked onto the stage. The room grew quiet. "I have an important announcement tonight," he said. "For 23 years, the Lin family has searched for our missing daughter." Guests whispered in curiosity. Richard continued. "Recently we finally found someone who may be her." He turned toward the crowd. "Miss Anna Lin." The room instantly filled with surprised murmurs. Anna stepped forward calmly. Grace stared at her in shock. Daniel looked equally stunned. Lily's face slowly lost its color. Richard spoke again. "We have completed the DNA test." The entire room waited in silence. Richard opened the document slowly. His voice was firm. "The results confirm that Anna Lin is the biological daughter of the Lin family." Gasps echoed across the hall. Grace covered her mouth in disbelief. Daniel stared at Anna. But Lily suddenly stood up. "This is impossible." Her voice sounded sharp and desperate. Everyone turned toward her. Lily pointed at Anna. "She's lying. She must have faked the test." For a moment the room fell silent. Anna looked at her calmly. Then she spoke softly. "Lily, are you afraid?" Her words were simple. But they felt like a blade cutting through Lily's perfect image. Anna slowly took out a small folder. "I expected you might say that," she continued. "So I prepared something." She placed several documents on the table. Photos. Bank records. Witness statements. Evidence of Lily's past manipulations. The same traps that had destroyed Anna's life before. This time, the truth was finally stepping into the light. And Lily's carefully built mask had begun to crack. The investor hall fell into complete silence. Everyone stared at the documents spread across the table. Photos, bank records, screenshots of messages, witness statements. Each piece of evidence pointed toward the same person. Lily Lynn. Anna stood calmly beside the table, her expression steady. Across from her, Lily's face had turned completely pale. Grace looked down at the papers with trembling hands. "Lily," she whispered softly. Daniel quickly picked up one of the documents. His eyes moved across the page, his expression growing darker with every line. "These transfers," he muttered. "They came from your personal account." Another document showed messages sent anonymously to reporters years ago. Messages spreading rumors about Anna after she entered the Lynn family. Richard Lynn's face slowly hardened. "Explain this." His voice was cold and heavy. Lily's heart pounded wildly. Her mind raced for excuses. This must be fake," she said quickly. "She's trying to frame me." She pointed at Anna again, her voice shaking. "She's always hated me because I grew up in this family." But Anna did not react. She simply watched Lily quietly. Grace looked between the two girls, confusion and pain filling her eyes. "Lily, tell me the truth," she pleaded softly. But Lily felt the room closing in around her. Everyone was staring, judging, waiting. Her perfect world was collapsing. Suddenly she laughed. At first it was quiet. Then it grew louder. The sound shocked everyone. "Yes," Lily said finally, her voice sharp. "I did it." The room erupted in whispers. Grace stepped back in disbelief. "Lily." Lily looked around the room with red eyes. "What was I supposed to do?" she shouted. "You suddenly found your real daughter and expected me to smile politely." She looked directly at Anna. "I spent my entire life here. This family is mine." Tears ran down her face, but her expression had turned bitter. When she appeared, everything changed. She laughed again. "So yes, I framed her. I made sure everyone believed she was a liar." Grace covered her mouth in shock. Daniel's fists clenched tightly. Richard remained silent, but his eyes were filled with anger. Lily's voice became softer, almost desperate. "I only wanted to protect my life." For a moment the entire hall was silent. Then Richard spoke. "You destroyed another person's life to protect your own." His voice was calm, but every word carried weight. Lily's shoulders trembled. Grace slowly sank into a chair, tears falling down her face. Daniel looked at Anna. For the first time, guilt filled his eyes. In his memory, he saw the many times Anna had tried to explain herself years ago. And how he had ignored her. Anna met his gaze calmly. There was no anger in her eyes. Only distance. That distance hurt even more. Later that night, the Lynn family gathered in the mansion living room. But the atmosphere had completely changed. Lily stood in the center of the room with a suitcase beside her. Her makeup was gone. Her elegant appearance had disappeared. She looked exhausted. Grace wiped her tears quietly. "Lily, why didn't you just tell us how scared you were?" she asked weakly. "We would never have abandoned you." Lily laughed softly. "You say that now. But the moment your real daughter appeared, everything changed." She turned toward Anna. Anna stood near the doorway, silent. "You already won," Lily said bitterly. Anna shook her head slightly. "I never competed with you." Those words made Lily freeze. Anna continued calmly. "You were the one fighting alone." For a moment Lily could not respond. Finally she picked up her suitcase. "Don't worry," she said quietly. "I won't stay where I'm not wanted." She walked toward the door. But before leaving, she looked back one last time. At the mansion. At the family she had lived with for 20 years. Then she left. The door closed slowly behind her. The living room remained silent. Grace cried quietly. Daniel stood with his head lowered. Richard looked older than usual. Finally he turned toward Anna. "You are our daughter," he said. "We owe you everything." Anna looked around the mansion. The luxurious furniture. The tall ceilings. The home she once dreamed of belonging to. But now it felt strangely empty. I appreciate that, she said gently. Grace looked up hopefully. Then, will you come home? Anna was quiet for a moment. Then she shook her head. No. Everyone froze. Daniel stepped forward. Anna, we can make things right. But Anna smiled softly. In my previous life, I wanted nothing more than to live here. Her words confused them. But she continued. I waited for your trust. Your love. Your understanding. Her voice remained calm. But now I don't need those things anymore. Grace's tears fell again. Anna looked toward the door. Outside, Jason was waiting beside his car. Her real life. Her real future. She turned back to the Lin family one last time. I hope you can learn from this, she said quietly. Then she walked out of the mansion. Jason smiled when he saw her. So, he asked, how do you feel? Anna looked up at the night sky. For the first time in both her lives. She felt completely free. Peaceful, she said. Jason opened the car door for her. Where to next? Anna smiled slightly. Forward. The car drove away slowly. Behind them, the Grand Lin mansion stood silent. Anna had not destroyed Lily. Lily had destroyed herself. And Anna had finally chosen the one thing she never had before. A life that truly belonged to her.